I start this one, right?
Eat.
Yeah. Welcome back to a fantasy playoff edition of the Fantasy Dads podcast. I'm your host.
We made it. We're
we
here.
Made it. It's sad because there is only like 4 weeks left of the season, but it's also fantasy playoffs, so it's very exciting. So, I'm your host, PJ Triolo. I'm with my other host, your other host, Mr. Jake Shiptanko.
What's good?
We're here. We're ready to break down some fantasy dads. Which players are dads? Which players are boys? Give you a couple little insights into our minds and what we're doing and how our
What's gonna be happening in week 14?
Yeah. Yep. And this is a big week. This is to determine if you move on, and if you win, you keep going. If you lose, fuck you. You're dead.
You're
bad,
dead, baby.
You're dead. You're bad. No one cares.
So to start it off, we'll recap what happened last night. Rams versus Patriots.
Rams dick down the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots put up 45 on the Chargers and turned around and 3 on the Rams. They're a wild team, I gotta say.
Yeah. Cam Newton got benched. That was pretty sick.
Yep. Always hype.
Jared Stidham came in and tripped and trying to hand the ball off. So, I mean, it is what it is. But on the Rams side, Cam Akers was the big old dad. Even though he didn't get a touchdown, he had 29 carries, 171 yards.
That's a thick performance.
Adding in 2 catches for 23 yards for a total of about 21 fantasy points.
We said he was the guy, and here he is doing guy shit.
Obviously the dude in that backfield. Like, Henderson had 2 carries for 5 yards. Malcolm Brown didn't have any carries. So,
it's finally been figured out.
Yes.
At week 14, we can solidly say Cam Akers is the starting running back of the Rams.
Yep. Jared Goff was their second leader rushing with 4 carries for 11 yards. So,
wow.
But he also got that rushing touchdown. He's
a savage.
Poached Cam Akers.
Yep. What are you going to do?
Nice. What are you going to do? But overall,
Rams D throwing up 20 fantasy points too. That pick six basically killed the game for the Pats.
Yeah. Unfortunate to be playing against them, but fortunate to have them also. Robert Woods, bit of a boy. Jay can speak to that. He is relying on Robert Woods at the moment.
Yeah, and Cooper Kupp got the little wide receiver touchdown in the night, so Woods just kind of got left out in the wind.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
It's all right. It's all right. I can come back from it.
Yeah. Just a little comeback season.
That's all.
Yeah, Jared Goff also did not look good in that game. He looked pretty average, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, he's on and off. I feel like every 3 weeks you get like a good game, or maybe he'll string together 1 or 2 also. But ever since the Super Bowl run, he just hasn't been. He hasn't been the money that he's getting paid.
Yeah, definitely not. He is nowhere close to being worth his contract. But, I mean, the Rams are still winning, and that's all they really need. They have a good-ass defense.
They're good as fuck.
Insane. Yeah, they're good as fuck. They're going to be pretty, tough out in the playoffs.
And, all he needs to do is step up for those 3 playoff games. And if they get the best out of Goff there, they're one of the... They will play the Chiefs very well.
Yes. Yep.
Titans, Jaguars, to jump onto the NFL preview. Sunday, week 14, fun slate of games, Titans, Jags. Derrick Henry hopefully will be busting ass in this game, but, who knows what can happen. But it is Tractorcito season, as others like to call it. So I'm putting Henry down for at least a 20-plus performance against the Jaguars.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also eyeing on the Jags side either Kevin Johnson, maybe a DJ Chark, maybe a Chark week, Both the Titans looked really bad against the pass last week. Baker Mayfield carved them the fuck up.
Yep.
And, I mean, Mike Glenn looked solid-ish. He's got a long neck, and he just kind of, like, giraffes around the field. But I'm thinking there's going to be a big week from these guys. They're two cornerbacks. So Breon Borders, and then Adoree Jackson on the Titans. Their two starting quarterbacks are not going to be playing this game.
Wow.
So this is going to be. I think this is going to be a closer game than people think.
Sounds like a Chark week for sure.
It might be a Chark week. I dropped Chark for a little Kiki Kuti time.
Heyo.
But, I mean, if you're still stuck on the Chark, this could be a week to start in. But then again, the Titans could just be running the ball and just keep the ball the entire time.
And fuck the Jags in the ass, because that's definitely on the table as well.
Yes, also on the table.
A.J. Brown or Corey Davis, who's going to have the bigger game?
A.J. Brown is expected to play. He's coming off a bit of an injury. He played through it last week. I think it's going to be a Corey Davis week again. I obviously don't think he's going to have as many points as he did last week. He's not going to put up 35, but
yeah, that was aggressive.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a solid week. Also, I mean, AJ Brown's going to do AJ Brown things regardless.
Yeah, he'll have that one big play at least, at minimum.
Yeah,
where he's just a savage.
You're starting both of them, even if they're probably going to be running a lot, because they do the play action a lot, and they trust Tannehill to throw it. So, I mean, I'm still starting. I have Corey Davis in the league that the playoffs haven't started yet, and the playoffs are determined by this week, and I'm trusting Corey Davis. So, I mean, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about, but still.
I'd probably given Tanny a start, in a league where, you might be a little, a 14-man league where you're getting deeper into the quarterbacks, or even, a 12-man league. Tannehill he's been playing pretty decently recently. In the Jags, it looks nice, but I don't know. If, I'm feeling a lot of Henry, and if there's a lot of Henry, that's a lot less Tannehill, so.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a lot. I'm feeling a big old bounce-back game for Henry.
Yeah, he's due.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Vikings Bucks. Vikings are putting themselves into playoff contention, and the Bucks are slowly crumbling.
I think the Bucks are too talented of a team to.
They'll figure it out.
I think they'll figure it out eventually, and I mean Minnesota's defense is nothing spectacular. I think they're gonna Tom Brady plays really well against bad defenses, so I think the Bucks are gonna win this game, but I think this matchup heavily favors the Bucks. The Bucks' run defense is pretty good. Minnesota's a big Dalvin Cook team.
Yep.
But I mean, Kirk Cousins has been playing out of his fucking head the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, Jefferson and Thielen, I think, against the Bucks are still both starts. I'm personally hoping for Cook to really just hog the carries here, but you're right. The defense on the Bucks side is so good that it's going to be a balanced attack. It has to be. I don't know. Maybe they end up just beating him on the ground.
Yeah. Kyle Rudolph is ruled out.
Wow.
He may miss this first game since 2014. But, if you're starting Kyle Rudolph, then you're pretty much fucked in the tight end department. There's a lot other tight ends.
Like Gronkowski.
Like Gronk. Yeah, I think Gronk's going to have a big old week.
Big wet week.
Big wet Gronky week.
Are you feeling Godwin, Evans, Brown? Which one is calling your name right now?
I think this is going to be a big Evans week. I think I don't know. I think he's going to figure it out, and I think he's going to become, kind of the go-to dude. I mean, he's been the go-to dude, but he's also...
just a savage.
Yeah. I'm also feeling a big Ronald Jones week coming in my nards. I just am.
He's been doing crazy shit recently.
He has, and I'm excited for it. My nards are talking to me and they're saying Ronald Jones is going to be a dad. So I'm trusting my nards. I'm starting Ronald Jones.
I love it. Moving on to Chiefs Dolphins.
This is probably one of the more intriguing matchups. The Dolphins, the top scoring defense versus the top scoring offense of the Chiefs. But if you look at what the Dolphins do on defense, it matches up very well with how the Chiefs play. So they play a lot of man coverage, and the Chiefs are probably the best team in the league against man. Like Tyreek Hill will just fly by everyone. They also put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback under pressure. So, I think like I don't trust Tua really.
That's what I'm interested for, because it's like, obviously, like, anytime the Chiefs are in a game, you're like, yeah, the Chiefs are probably going to win the game, just because that's how good they are. But, when you're looking at it and you're like, okay, if the Dolphins were to win this game, what would need to happen? And you're like, okay, like, the defense would probably have to do some wild shit, and Tua would probably have to play really well, which could be very intriguing to see if he's able to step up to this game and put on a nice performance.
Yeah. That would be very, very interesting. I think the Dolphins are looking for that from Tua. They're looking for a sign that he's the dude, because so far he's looked completely average. And
I think we might see Fitzpatrick in this game. I don't know.
A little Fitzmagic if Tua struggles.
Fitzmagic in the second half.
I think if Tua struggles this game, they're gonna go back to Fitzmagic for the playoffs, or for the playoff push.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But yeah, so you're starting every Chief as you always do. Probably none of the Mecole Hardman, blah blah blah. Those littler Chiefs, just because the Dolphins use savage. Definitely fade those guys. Fade the Chiefs backfield like it's the plague, especially against the Dolphins D.
Fade the Dolphins D.
Fade the Dolphins D for sure.
I mean, they've scored a defensive touchdown the past, 10 weeks or whatever. I don't even know.
I'm sure somebody out there with them is just one of those guys or girls that just leaves in whatever defense that they have. And, they're I used to be like that. I just, I didn't give a shit. If they played the best team in the league or the worst team in the league, I just rolled with the same defense. And if you are doing that, like I said, if the Dolphins are going to win this game, it's going to be with some wild shit on defense. So at least that's potentially in the game script.
Yeah. Gaskin's back. I have him as a flex, I guess.
He's a flex because he's the starting running back and he's dope. So you probably want to play him, but it's not a great matchup. So he's going to need to sneak a touchdown, which can happen, but it's just it's not the most ideal play.
Yeah, definitely not. And then Tua just doesn't like Devontae Parker. So
I'm putting Devontae Parker on hold, or just put him in your flex where you can take a boom or bust sort of performance.
Big Gesicki week, I feel again. I want to see him put up consistently good weeks back to back.
If he does that would blow my shit up, because that means he has because he already has the chemistry with Fitzpatrick, but after last week, I'm if he has it with Tua now, he could be a fantasy dad.
Yeah, easily dad. And I'm relying on him as my tight end one in the league, and I just want to see that consistency. I don't want to see.
I'm using him in the playoffs in one of my other leagues as well. He's the boy.
He might end up getting the start over Hayden Hurst, but in our fantasy dads league playoffs.
Yeah.
Depending on this game. This is a big game. I have a bye in that league, in our league. So
you get to see how things play out.
This is my evaluation week. I'm going to be watching and evaluating my players.
Choosing who deserves to play.
Who's getting the start next week when everything matters.
It's like tryouts before the playoffs.
Basically. It's the luxury that you get being good at fantasy.
Yeah. All right, moving on to
Broncos
Panthers, baby. All right. So McCaffrey is not back.
Fuck McCaffrey. He's injured a new part of his body. So he was out for 6 weeks with the high ankle sprain. Then he came back, put up 30 points, and then hurt his shoulder and was out 3 weeks. Now he starts practicing again, and now he hurts his thigh. So now he's out again.
He's all over the goddamn
He's all over the place. It's great in the Fantasy Dads League because I traded him and got Devontae Adams and Nick Chubb. But
that's one of the best trades I've ever seen play. I feel so bad for Josh. He got 1 week of McCaffrey. Who got him?
He got 1 week, and he got James Robinson, who is a solid running back.
That is true. But that's a Nick Chubb sort of equal trade.
Yeah. I basically just got the best.
You got Adams
the best running
free.
back in the league, or the best wide receiver in fantasy.
The best player in fantasy.
Swapped good running backs, basically. Yeah, but I was pretty hype. I was expecting him back in another league, and I mean, I still hope I win. I still think I'm going to win, and eventually make the playoffs. Because if I win, I'm in that league, and it would have been nice to have that little McCaffrey safety blanket, I guess, of 22 points at least per game. But I can survive, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Mike Davis is a play because of McCaffrey's absence. Of course.
Just right before the podcast started, Jake told me that he dropped Mike Davis in the Fantasy Dads League, and I swooped him up. Started him, or not started him. Well, I have a bye, so again, this is evaluation. We'll see if McCaffrey's out for more than a week. If he's out, Mike Davis is going on.
Boom.
It's time.
He plays Green Bay. That's savage. All right. DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson. What are you thinking? Do we got to see what Ed's done?
Curtis Samuel has the Rona, so not Curtis Samuel.
Oh, no, he has Ronies.
He's got the Roni. Or at least he says he has Ronies in the fantasy app. I haven't seen the news, so I don't know.
Oh, he was practicing, activated from COVID. But Ed has him on his bench.
So it's not a Curtis Samuel week.
Not a Curtis Samuel week.
I think it's
surprisingly, he has Sterling Shepard in at wide receiver, too. So
interesting.
Yeah, maybe it's a Sterling Shepard week. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that. One of my sleeper start in one of my leagues is the Panthers defense. Just Drew Lock has looked like shit.
DJ Moore is out. DJ Moore is out for the game. So it's massive Robbie.
Yeah, it's a Robbie week.
Crazy big Robbie.
Starting Robbie. Starting Mike Davis. Starting Panthers defense.
I'm probably starting Curtis Samuel, even though Ed isn't. But, I don't know.
You're not trusting Ed? I trust Ed.
I trust Ed. Fade him.
Fade and Curtis.
And then on the Broncos side, Melvin Gordon has looked pretty good. He had 3 weeks ago, he had that first, over 100 yards rushing game. Then he did not well, but then he did 130 yards last week. So I'm feeling some Melvin Gordon vibes.
I'm definitely feeling some. I'm feeling some vibes, but I'm still starting the Panthers D because Drew Lock is god awful.
The Broncos suck. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not world beaters, but they're still decent, and I think they've been playing well recently. I'm pretty excited for it. It's just that my other defenses in that league, I had the Bears, who are not playing well as defenders at the moment. And then I have the Ravens against the Browns, and I felt like that's a conflict of interest. And I think the Browns
avoid those games.
Yes, exactly.
Because you can't think clearly about those games. I can think clearly when you're talking about the Broncos Panthers, but as soon as you get to the Falcons Chargers, I'm I genuinely cannot tell you objectively what's going to happen in this game whatsoever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically Melvin Gordon, and then Noah Fant, like, I don't love it, but, like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe. Tim Patrick is the boy. Tim Patrick, as we've discussed, is probably a go at a flex spot, I would say. And then Jerry Jeudy, I don't know, hasn't been too hot, but he is Jerry Jeudy, so it's like, meh. But it's just like, yeah, I'm probably fading most of the Broncos team. And if you're desperate in terms of, like, you have to play something, like, Tim Patrick is the go when it comes to receiving. Noah Fant is not the best, but I think I'm starting him in some spots.
Yeah. Texans Bears.
Deshaun Watson, Kiki Cootie. That's gonna be another good pairing for this game, I think, also, because the Bears D sucks now.
Yeah, the Bears D does suck now. They gave up like fucking 35 points to the fucking Lions. So
all bets are off.
I dropped the Bears defense for the Panthers defense, so that's saying a lot about this matchup and my confidence in the Chicago Bears. I picked up Kiki, but I'm not starting him over Corey Davis or Jarvis.
Need one more week to see.
One more week. Yeah, prove that he's legit.
Yeah.
And
ideally, like a 13-point week where, like, he doesn't go off, but he gets like 7 receptions, and you're like, okay, like so he's gotten the consistency.
We saw his ceiling. For a good week. Yeah, we saw his ceiling. I want to see his floor.
Exactly.
If
he doesn't want to find out there's an even higher ceiling, because then the floor is going to be super low the next week.
Yeah, basically. I mean, David Montgomery, I'm starting him.
Yeah, dude, I'm very excited to start him.
Yeah, not a great matchup. A great matchup against not a good run defense.
Yeah, he's put up 25, 27 the past 2 weeks. This is a must start. He was one of those guys about 5 games into the season when, like, the defenses were sort of figuring out what they were shitty and good at. And I looked at David Montgomery with the Bears schedule, and I saw, like, the Green Bay, the Texans. He plays the Texans, like, twice. I think he'll play them, like, championship week also. So, like, it's just, like, he was the perfect playoff player, and, like, he's peaking at the right time. Yeah. And I'm hoping he can stay up there doing wild shit.
Yeah, agreed. Bears.
Allen Robinson. Oh, what's up?
Bears temporarily closed their facility due to a positive COVID test.
Oh shit.
That was yesterday. So I don't know how the game's probably still gonna happen because the NFL doesn't give a shit about COVID anymore. So, whatever, it's fine. The game's still gonna happen. Allen Robinson. Whether
it's Tuesday or Wednesday.
Or just Sunday. They don't give a shit about either of these teams, so they're going to make them play. Wait, what were you saying about Allen Robinson?
He's a go. Wide receiver, too, though, just because his ceiling hasn't been that high this year. So I'm looking at him as a wide receiver, too, even against the shitty Texans D. And then, you can take your bet on Cole Kmet or Jimmy Graham, but one of them is probably going to get a touchdown. I can imagine that pretty easily. And then Texans, David Johnson, like, against the Bears is, like, not that, like, good, but, like, the Bears stink now, so it's like, okay, like, maybe it's pretty good. I don't know.
They gave up 20 fantasy points to Adrian Peterson, so I feel like David Johnson he's like another kind of washed up like older dude who was good a while back. Like, obviously not as good as Adrian Peterson was, but, like, he's still, like, past his prime. And, like, the Bears have a tendency to make players past their prime play up to, like, their prime level of production. So,
yeah.
I'm running back to flex for me.
Definitely no Duke Johnson this week, I think.
Yeah, definitely no.
Brandon Cooks feels like a stretch, especially after the weak performance last week. But, like,
I don't know. I think he's due.
That's the thing. Like, he could just, and, like, he is the type of player that, like, he could just, like, go off for, like, 3 touchdowns for no reason. But I don't know. It's interesting with Fuller out, but if it's Kiki, then Cooks is going to look like a bust most weeks.
Yeah. I'm very pumped for Kiki. Hopefully he can show me something nice. And hopefully he doesn't go off and then I lose because I didn't start him this week. Cardinals Giants.
Kyler facing another good defense. I don't love Kyler this week. I don't like starting Kyler Murray this week.
I'm going to start him because, I am banking on that Kyler D-Hop connection for my one league. So, I'm rolling with him. He looked a little better last week. Yeah, he looked a little bit better.
16 isn't even that bad. It wasn't a complete bust.
Yeah. No Daniel Jones again. It's Colt McCoy time again. I'm fading every
Giants receiver
not named Wayne Gallman.
Yep. Wayne's the boy.
Interesting to see playoff or last 4 games Kenyon versus a solid defense in the Giants, but
what do you think? Is Kenyon is he a go this week?
I'm starting him, but I also have a bye, so I don't know.
No stakes there.
No stakes there, but I still kind of like him.
I have David Montgomery and Jonathan Taylor over him in one league. And then T. Higgins in the flex, and I'm I don't know, because if he doesn't get a touchdown, it's fucked. He's not gonna get a lot of yards. But I don't know. This could be the first game where he's really all right, now I'm Kenyon Drake, but it could also just be another bust.
Yeah, I think. DeAndre Hopkins, he wasn't practicing earlier this week, but I think he's practicing now. He's still questionable, but I think he's gonna be a go. The Cardinals need him. They're trying to make the wild card, so he's gonna play through that. Start your studs. And you can't go 4 games in a row underperforming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not possible.
And then Chase Edmonds, I think I'm officially off him for the season unless something happens to Drake.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Cowboys versus Bengals. Very bad defenses.
Yes. Very bad defenses.
Very second-string quarterbacks.
Also that. So, Andy Dalton revenge game. Pretty hype about that.
Ooh, that's lit.
I think Zeke this is the 1 week you can start Zeke, which sucks because Adam has Zeke, but he's still on his bench, and I'm hoping that Adam just forgets and he's just giving up on that league.
Yeah, there's that shot.
Yeah, he's still starting Antonio Gibson, who is out or doubtful.
Oh,
so he hasn't updated his lineup yet. So I'm fingers crossed he stopped,
stays off it.
Yeah.
And so it sounds I don't know, Gallup was the best last game, right? So, or I guess Cooper was, but Gallup was better than CD. But I don't know, all 3 of those guys I could see at minimum in your flex, but when you're talking Cooper, you're probably talking wide receiver.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 1.
T. Higgins is questionable, so you might have to start Kenyon.
Yeah, and then, if I'm forced into it, I'm all right with it. I'm down. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm ready. But I hope T can play because he's proved consistent week to week with the backup in, and the Cowboys are going to leave plenty of room for some scoring.
Mm-hmm. Big Gio Bernard week. Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. He hasn't been good at all since Mixon's been out, but I agree. It's there. It's there for him.
Yeah. Other than that, I feel that game is going to be high scoring of 2 bad teams.
Yeah.
Just
if T. Higgins is I think you're going Tyler Boyd because he's a stud. But if T. Higgins is out, A.J. Green I could also see getting some targets, who would be a very nice flex play then. Yeah, I think that covers the bases there. Dalton Schultz, Potentially. Nah, I'm not about Dalton Schultz. Even this is like, I guess if you have him, like, you'll play him against the Bengals, because I know Ben has him in the NFL league, but I don't know. I don't love him. Colts versus Raiders.
Big playoff game.
Raiders are genuinely crumbling. Crumbling.
Yeah, they should have lost to the Jets. I wish they lost to the Jets. Is Josh Jacobs still out?
Josh Jacobs is still out.
All right, so Devontae Booker against a good Colts defense.
Not loving it.
Not loving it either.
But it's hard to imagine he'd do worse than getting 5 points like he did last week. But, like, I don't know. If anything, he would, because it's not the Jets.
Yeah, true. I'm liking T.Y. Hilton this game.
Yeah, I'm loving T.Y. 18 and 25 last week.
Oh, David Johnson on the COVID list. Just got that update. So
shit. Duke. Duke season.
Duke time.
My God.
So, yeah. I think the Colts are going to spank them.
Spank them good.
Spank them nice and good.
Darren Waller, like, of course, start your stud. I'm not really touching Ruggs, Renfro, or Aguilar this week. You know, if you have to fuck around with someone, like, maybe Aguilar, but, like, not about it, really. And then Jonathan Taylor has shown that he's the guy as far as carries went last week by a solid amount. Yeah, so he's a definite go this week.
Yep, he's a dad.
I'm expecting plus 15 from them.
Yeah, 15. I'm expecting anything less than 16 is disappointment for me.
Gotcha. All right, Jets versus Seahawks. Jets, are they gonna get a win this week?
Probably not. Starting every Seahawks player.
Yep. Anyone you get your hands on.
Chris Carson is gonna have himself a day. Lockett,
Wilson,
and DK, yeah.
Yep. And then, maybe, like, Will Disley. I don't know. Nah. Greg Olsen. Isn't he on them?
Yeah, but he's I'm not starting. I'm not touching the tight ends.
No tight ends.
It'll be interesting to see the Jamal Adams revenge game against the Jets. He hates the Jets. He hated the Giants because they're in New York. That's how much he hates the Jets. So big game from Jamal. I mean,
we're not starting any Jets. Or are we starting Jets?
I don't think I'm starting any Jets. Well, I might start Jameson. Maybe.
Jamie, you feel like of all the guys, Jameson's the boy?
Yeah. Jameson is...
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns last week, and then he had that streak of plus 10 points. So, yeah. Maybe, fuck it. Jameson's a flex. What about Ty Johnson, the new running back?
I mean, I think Frank Gore is concussed.
He's back from yeah, okay.
Is he back from concussed? I don't know.
I imagine not.
Yeah, but yeah, Ty Johnson, if you need a running back, he's
a starting running back.
Exactly.
That's something. That's something at the least.
I don't trust him, but he's a starter. That's
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Packers Lions.
I don't expect the Lions to play well this week.
No.
Swift is Swift back this week, or is he still fucking around?
I think he's back. He's questionable. Galladay's out. Okuda's out, so Dadams is gonna go off.
Swift did a full practice today, so
okay. So I think Swift is a go.
Big ol' Swift.
Big ol' Swifty Swift.
If not, fucking send Peterson, because he proves that he's a dad.
Yeah. Marvin Jones, also a dad.
Yep.
I think he's going to have a big old week, especially with Kenny out. I mean, I'm...
Definitely send some Marvin. Because I expect the Lions to maybe get like 2 touchdowns and a few.
I'd say it's going to be like a lopsided shootout. So it's going to be high scoring. Like definitely take
like
the over.
42-21.
Yeah, something like that. Like the Lions are going to be able to move the ball and put up some points, but the Packers are just going to.
Dadums!
Yeah, Dadum. It's a big old Dadums week.
It feels like every week, like, it's just like, you're just like, yeah, I expect at least 30 points from Devontae. And then he'll just give it to you.
Yep.
And then Lazard is the off-brand Packers receiver that you probably go with. Aaron Jones, yes. Jamal Williams, probably not, based on his recent kind of fantasy scoring. But he is an intriguing play, especially against the Lions D.
You can hope for, like, a bullshit Williams touchdown.
Exactly. And, like, there's always those. Like, every, 2-3 weeks, there's a bullshit Williams touchdown. And then I'm loving Robert Tonyan as well.
Oh, yeah. Big old Bobby Toney week.
And we won't forget the boy T.J. Hawkinson on the other side. He's a go.
He's a go. He's a go every week, especially against not a good defense.
Yeah, this should be interesting. This should be interesting in terms of fantasy. A lot of fantasy potential.
Yep. Very, very intrigued.
I also don't see how this game wouldn't hit the over.
Yeah.
Right?
I see no scenario where this game does not go over whatever the over is. It doesn't matter. It's going over that.
I can't all right, Falcons Chargers. This is also an over game I'm looking at. But my boys, Matt Ryan, against
Julio.
the Chargers. Yeah, no Julio. That's the big news. No Julio, who's always injured, which is great. So Ridley is a go. Russell Gage, I think, is a reach. He's never really popped off ever, even with all these opportunities with Julio, which makes me like Hayden Hurst a lot this week. It's seeming like it could be his shit.
He needs to prove that last week was an outlier, because his one catch for 19 yards was not great. I mean, I still won, but still, I expect more out of him, and I'm going to need more out of him going forward. If he has another shit game and Gesicki pops off again, he's getting benched, and there's nothing.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it.
Todd Gurley, I'm liking in this game too. Just for snagging a tutty at some point, I can see it going down. But he was limited last game, which affected his performance. So I'll have to look it up. But if it says he's going to have limited touches in this game, then definitely fade, and then fade everyone else as well. Chargers side, I think, Herbert, no bust this week, right?
I mean, it's got to be a bounce back week.
Got to be a bounce back.
It's got to. It makes my brain would explode if it wasn't.
If it wasn't, then I'd be genuinely concerned about Herbert as a quarterback. So,
all right. Todd Gurley he is not limited at all. He'll have a full-time role. Says Raheem Morris. So, start
Thanks,
Todd.
Raheem. Love it. I expect Herbert to bounce back nicely, and then with that comes, of course, beautiful Allen performance, a potential Henry, and a potential Williams performance. So those guys are if it's just in a league where you're reaching for something, it's on the table. Eckler is also a go.
Yeah, definitely. Even against the good,
have a very nice game.
Even against the above average Atlanta Falcons run defense.
I would say yes, but in similar fashion as Kamara showed, is if the running back can also pass catch, that just mucks up the whole thing. Yeah. He's not gonna gash him, but with Eckler being the pass catching back that he is, there's no way he's gonna be limited by the Falcons defense in the game.
Start your studs. Eckler is your stud. You start him.
Boom. Even against this beautiful rush defense.
Yes,
Washington versus 49ers. The two maroon teams should be a fun watch on the field.
Yeah. Antonio Gibson has turf toe. He's ruled out. That's big old news. It means it's a J.D. McKissick week.
Yeah, JD, hopefully he'll get a little uptick in carries, but they do have Peyton Barber, who should be getting those, but he did not do well last week with 14 carries.
Scary Terry, and against a pretty solid 49ers defense, even with all the injuries.
Yeah, I benched Scary Terry last week for basically, like, just gut instinct, and, like, even though the Washington football team won that game, it proved right that he busted. But I feel like Terry's going to bounce back with 16 this week. Like, he's not going to get back-to-back, like, sub-10 weeks. Like, he's just too good for that. So, he'll figure it out.
On the 49ers side,
Logan Thomas for
Logan
Washington also had 9 catches last game. So, I'm looking to see if he'll do good this game. I don't know if I'm putting him in right away, but
yeah, agreed. Be interesting to see how the Washington football team, like, these are two, like, I feel similarly built teams with two really good defenses. And it just so happens that the football team plays in a shitty division and the 49ers play in a good division. So one has playoff hopes and one doesn't. And I'm going to bet with the team that's playing for more. So I think the football team...
The hopes.
Yeah. The hope. I think they're playing for more. I think they're going to win. I don't think Mostert's going to have a good game again.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big... It might be, like, if there's going to be production from the 49ers, it's going to be Debo, and it's going to be
Young Dad.
Yep.
The boy. Jordan Reed, revenge game.
Oh, yes. Very true. Big
so, like, I
could
see him getting a touchdown. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, yeah, so, yeah, I like the 49ers pass catchers a lot, and I agree. Not loving Raheem Mostert until he shows that he's a stud once again. Saints versus
Eagles.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts' first career start against a really good defense. I'm starting the Saints defense.
Saints defense should eat this week.
Yeah, they should. I'm pumped for it. I'm playing in the league that I'm starting the Saints defense. I'm playing against the Rams defense, who already put up 21, so I'm expecting big things.
Gotta rival that.
Yeah. Bad offensive line on the Eagles means lots of sacks. Rookie quarterback Jalen Hurts, interception, maybe a pick six. Who knows?
Love it. Miles Sanders, keep him as far away from your lineup as you possibly
he's a
can.
little bitch boy. I hate him. Big Taysom week as well. I think there's solidifying.
Whether it be reception touchdown, passing touchdown, rushing touchdown, he'll have at least 3.
Yeah. I think he has solidified himself as the heir apparent to Drew Brees. I think they're going to roll with him as their starter next year when Drew Brees retires.
After this season?
After this season.
Holy shit.
It's my big prediction.
I'm hype.
I'm very hype about that. Michael Thomas is a go.
Yes.
Kamara's a go.
Yes.
Saints D is a go.
Yes.
On the Eagles side, Goddard maybe as a tight end.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see because Ertz was limited in his first game back, so it's the sort of situation I'm probably staying away from both Goddard and Ertz because of not only the matchup but the unforeseen split in touches.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I'm very intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how Hurts does. And if he plays like decent, it'll be a big old deal. And Carson Wentz will be out of there.
Yep.
But I don't foresee them playing well against the Saints.
No. This should be a blowout. And very minimal scoring from the Eagles, which is why you're not touching Fulgham, Rager, or Jeffrey or anything. Steelers versus Bills. Sunday night.
Huge Sunday night game.
Very fun game.
Very, very fun game. I like the Bills in this. I think the Steelers... I think the Steelers are going to win this game. I want the Steelers to lose, so the Browns have a chance to win the AFC North. But... I think,
They
Mike
still got 2 more weeks to lose.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin as an underdog. I love that. I mean, the Bills have a solid rush defense. I'm kind of staying away from James Conner. I like any like Steelers receiver. I mean, I would slot them all as wide receiver 2s.
Yeah,
it's just
and Deontay Johnson with the edge, as we've seen consistently.
He had a couple big drops. Him and Ebron both had a couple really bad drops against the football team. So
hopefully they figured it out in practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I continue to play Ebron. I think like he's not a stud, but like as far as tight ends go this year, like he's been playing well enough that he's a go kind of regardless of matchup.
Starting Josh Allen, I think he's
of course dad.
Yeah, dad, even against a really good defense.
Diggs 100% go. And then Beasley, he's an interesting dude. Like we talked about, he's had 3 up weeks and 3 down weeks in terms of his performance. So in the past 6 games, and at this point it's 50-50. So it's like, is he going to go off again this week, or is he just going to have a little flop? Yeah. It's a fun gamble, but I like it in a flex spot.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I like it in the flex spot. I like it as like a kind of Hail Mary because like he does have those games where he's just like everyone keys in on Diggs and he's just there for the little zippy doos.
And the Steelers are good enough to key in on Diggs.
Yep.
So, and then if anyone in the backfield, Singletary, but also again that's not a good play.
Singletary the same way I'm treating Connor, and if I have a better option, I'm starting them.
Yep. Exactly.
Don't love the matchup. Yeah. Ravens-Browns.
Monday night,
baby. Yeah. Browns are a completely different team than fucking when they played them week 1 with no offseason and lost 38-6. No offseason, no training camp, no preseason, learning a new scheme, new offense. Like, they look completely different now.
This is going to be a hell of a matchup, one that I like the Browns in, honestly.
Yes. No Jimmy Smith or Calais Campbell. All not practicing currently. I mean, it's still Monday. So I'm thinking it's a big old Jarvis week. I think it's another one. I think he's really coming on down the home stretch of the season.
Yeah, he's delivering when it's mattering most, which is awesome. So yeah, I'd say he's a wide receiver too, solid as fuck.
Yeah, he is a very, very solid wide receiver too. On the Ravens side, Mark Andrews is back. I'm starting him as well.
Absolutely.
I think the Browns, like, their defense is pretty okay. Like, it's really hit or miss. If they get turnovers, then they're good fantasy-wise. But, I mean, their linebackers are. I'm not loving their defense.
It. Especially, like, in the prospect of sacking Lamar, which just doesn't happen a lot.
I mean, if there's one person who can do it, it's Myles Garrett. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Browns linebackers are good in the good at the like run stopping, but against like quick athletic tight ends, they struggle a lot. So I'm thinking it's going to be a
loving Mark Andrews.
Big Mark Andrews week.
Are you Hollywood Brown? Are you sending him?
Depends on if Denzel Ward plays or not.
Gotcha.
So right now he is he's not practicing now. They say they're hopeful that he'll be able to return for the Monday night game. So if he practices tomorrow, because they're doing like their normal Friday practice tomorrow, if he like is there for the walkthrough, I'm fading Hollywood Brown. But if not, I'm going with Hollywood Brown.
Got you. And then in the backfield, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Mark Ingram. Too many guys. Too many boys back there.
Mark Ingram, I don't know if he's playing or not. So it's going to be J.K. and Gus. And I mean,
Did he get injured in the last game?
I don't know if he was injured or I just remember reading somewhere.
Got you.
Who's practicing, who's not. So, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think he's practicing, but he didn't look good. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, no. If anyone, definitely Gus or JK, and probably JK because of the pass catching side of things. But no, I don't like the 3-way split. That's too many.
Yeah, too many.
Chubb should definitely always be played. And then we were talking about this earlier. How do you feel about Hunt?
I feel like Hunt has had you've been down so long, the only way up is up.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like in primetime game, you're playing at home, it's his hometown versus the team that basically stole his hometown's team. And he was alive when all that went down. I think he's gonna be motivated. I think they're gonna try and utilize him more in the short passing game.
I need to see more of that.
I need some Hunt. I'm relying on him over Miles Sanders, so I'm not very obviously my options for
you don't have much of a choice, yeah. But I feel you on that. And then I think that's all. Ravens D. Are you starting? No, I'm not starting the Ravens D. I'm not feeling good about it. I'm feeling good maybe on 2 sacks, but that's about it. Maybe an interception.
I mean,
but yeah.
Baker hasn't thrown an interception since week 7.
So he's on fleek.
He has the longest active, no interception streak in the NFL currently.
Then fuck the Ravens D this week as well.
I mean, I might have just jinxed it. I feel like that's going to be at some point, but it's not sustainable. There's going to be at least one interception, but
the fantasy gods definitely heard you.
Yes, I will kill my pet, my future dog. I will sacrifice my future dog to the fantasy gods if Baker doesn't throw an interception.
You heard his prayer.
Yes.
Please answer him, fantasy gods. All right. All right, that wraps up the NFL recap. A lot of fun games. It's always fun. The NFL's awesome.
Yeah.
Now we've got fantasy playoffs in our league, and because of the 2 buys to both PJ's team, Dan's minuscule Guido Cock, who is the 1 seed, and Lamar Jackson Flaxen Waxen, coached by Josh Shiowitz, who is the 2 seed. How do you feel chilling in this bye week here?
I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling really good, honestly.
Who are you taking the winner of in these games?
I will be playing the winner of, I think, Team Haas and a Lockett. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna check real quick.
1, 2, 4, 5. I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
No. Maybe.
Wait, league. Let me find the playoff bracket.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Because Ed's the 3 seed, I think. No, Kyle's the 3 seed. So you're playing the winner of Team Has No Name and Zan Newton. So Vinny and Ed is who you're looking at. What do you have a preference there that you're just off the hand? You're yeah, I'd probably rather play.
I mean, Vinny's team currently, let me go back to the scoreboard so I can look at both their teams. I just know I beat Ed pretty handily a couple weeks ago, but
okay,
a box score, and I lost I think I beat Vinny by 4 last time I played him, and both our teams played like shit. So
got you. You're feeling just your gut saying you like Ed next.
Yeah, I would rather face Ed. Just looking at Vinny's team, he's got Austin Eckler back. He's got David Montgomery, who, as we said, is turning it on at the right time as his running back team.
Yep.
He's got Hopkins and Stephon Diggs as his 2 wide receivers. Evan Ingram, when Daniel Jones gets back, is going to be pretty scary. He's also got Gronk, who he's not starting, which I don't know why. And then Justin Jefferson in the flex.
Wait, what? He's benching Gronk? That's insane.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson in the flex. That's a scary lineup. I'd rather face Eds, Lamar, Kamara, Gurley, Kupp, Sterling Shepard, Austin Hooper, Young Dad.
100%.
Yeah.
Got you. So while we're here then, I feel like looking at this direct matchup, given Cooper Kupp scoring 14.3 last night, giving it a nice little decent start, but I think we're both leaning Vinny to end up winning this game.
Yes. Yes. I would love it if...
The matchups are there.
Yeah. He's got a lot better matchups.
We'll break it down. Pat Mahomes versus Miami, Lamar versus Cleveland. I give that to Pat.
Yeah. I mean...
Has just been better. Austin Eckler, Alvin Kamara.
I give that to Kamara against Philly. Edge Kamara easily there. Running back 2, I would give the edge to Montgomery over Todd Gurley.
Yep. Agreed.
Wide receiver, Hopkins over Kupp.
I feel like Hopkins can get above 14.3.
Yeah, and then Diggs over Shepard.
100%.
Hooper
and Ingram cancel each other out there. I think that's a wash because Ingram's having a much better season, but he also doesn't have a starting quarterback. So
Justin Jefferson and Young Dad. There are two Young Dads going on each other in the flex.
And I think
Jefferson.
I give the just to the he's just a slightly cooler Young Dad.
Yes,
slightly.
Mm-hmm. Then Bucks defense against the defenses I think are pretty even. They're both pretty.
Yeah, I would honestly even maybe give the edge to the Colts there if the Raiders decide to play as poorly as they did against the Falcons.
Yeah.
And then
Young Ho and Justin Tucker.
That's it. This is a kicker duel right here.
Yeah.
Two of the best in the league.
Going head to head.
Love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, Antonio Gibson being out really kind of sucks for Ed. I feel like he was playing him in the flex.
Yeah.
He's sitting
it's
Curtis.
A tough loss.
Yeah. I am praying that Ed pulls us out because I'm much less afraid of his team than I am of Vinny's team currently with Eckler back.
Yep. All right. And then Josh will be playing the winner of Team Haas versus It's a Locket that I'm winning. And in this situation, Kyle is the 3 seed, Jonah is the 7 seed. We'll break it down. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Thoughts? I like Rodgers personally.
I like Rodgers as well.
Playing
Zeke
the Lions,
versus Henry.
that's wet.
Henry.
Like we said, it's gonna be an all right week for Zeke, but yes, definitely Henry.
Still Henry. Like they both have bad matchups, but Henry's just significantly better and has been.
Exactly.
Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones,
yes. But again, Jonathan Taylor, like, not terrible either. It's very similar to the Zeke situation. It's like, okay, like they're playing like a team that could potentially give them a lot of points.
Yeah.
Now, next, we've got Julio Jones out for Jonah. I'm sure he'll get around to changing that, but let's see how that will affect
Mike
his
Williams
lineup.
or Jerry Jeudy. Those are his options.
If you're asking me, I'm waiting to see what happens with Denzel Ward, right?
Yeah. But then again, we might not know that till like after all the Sunday games are
right.
out.
So I personally think Mike Williams. What do you think?
Yeah. I like Jerry Jeudy. I would probably go Jeudy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Jonah shot himself in the foot a little bit not starting Cam Akers. I think,
Yeah, because, I mean, it basically will come down to how Ronald Jones performs, because that's who he would have played him for, but...
Yeah.
I agree, Ronald Jones could do nice this week, but yeah, he just kind of fucked in the wide receiver department with Jones out.
Brandon Cooks versus Thielen. I mean, Tyler Lockett
Definite
is really
Thielen.
good. Thielen.
Yeah, Lockett will beat whoever Jonah ends up putting in for Julio.
Thielen as the edge over Cooks.
I'd probably give Waller the edge over TJ, even against
slight
the
edge.
Colts.
I'm leaning TJ.
Leaning TJ. I am with it.
Yeah, a lot less scary matchup. Like Leonard Williams again is gonna be like shadowing Darren Waller the entire
So you
game.
think Darren could just be fucked potentially?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm switching to TJ now.
Ah, nice.
Ronald
Amari
Jones, Amari Cooper. Amari.
I like Ronald Jones, but Amari. Packers
Cincinnati,
D
nice.
against the Packers D.
Interesting.
Very
Against the
interesting
Lions.
against the Lions.
I think the Lions, right? We talked about. They'll probably still score some touchdowns. Like they're not terrible.
I'm giving the edge to Chiefs against rookie QB, who's not playing particularly well. Probably going to be Chiefs. Tyler Bass, Harrison Butker. They're both good kickers playing against good defenses, which means that
lots of opportunities.
So I'm giving this a wash.
All right. So then overall, where you think you're leaning? This is kind of even with Julio out. Like if Julio was in, I'd probably lean Jonah, but
I'm leaning Kyle.
Yeah.
I think Jonah shot himself in the foot sitting Cam Akers.
It's tough to give up that. Give up those points. Kyle's sitting Wayne Gallman. Thoughts? You like Zeke more than Wayne this week?
I like Zeke more than Wayne this week.
Gotcha.
Who are the Giants playing again?
The Giants are playing Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be. Yeah, I like Zeke.
Yeah, I'm leaning Kyle. I like
Kyle. So,
he's got a lot of boom potential just with the players that he has. It's a tight one. That's a nice tight match. I will say though.
Agreed.
All right, and then the losers bracket. It's lit out here. We'll go to my matchup. I get to try and get revenge on Brian,
who single-handedly knocked you out of the playoffs.
He fucked my season.
Not single-handedly. His 2 wins are against you. You would be 5-7 with them, so you would still not be in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I ended up losing out after the Brian loss, so I
think
he emotionally fucked me. You know what I mean?
You're playing for not last currently, so I mean you're gonna win. I mean it might be a Shark week, and Mark Andrews and Tyler Boyd, DJ Moore's out, but you know
DJ Moore's out. Love that. Love Henderson already locking in at 0.5 points. So I'm loving my odds this week, but again, it's there's no promises.
Yeah,
I've been burned too many times.
Yep.
But let's do it for fun. You ready? Tua or Justin Herbert?
Herbert.
Gordon or Swift?
Ooh, Swift.
I would even give it a wash potentially.
Yeah.
Already 0.5 points, Darrell Henderson. Do you think Devontae Booker can beat that?
I think even against a good defense, yes. McLaurin against an injured DJ Moore.
I've got it. It's tough, but I gotta go Terry. Chark versus Samuel.
Wash.
Mark Andrews versus Ebron. Big Andrews vibes. Boyd versus Thomas. Wash. I'll give it a wash. Fuck
Browns
it.
D versus Seahawks D.
Seahawks are playing the Jets.
Wash.
Chris Boswell will let's wash. Yeah, so I should win, but shit'll happen.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the losers bracket, we've got big old Mike Fitzgerald versus big old boy Adam Howard. Adam already got 8.1 from Robert Woods. Again, no implications here, so Mike's team's name is potentially holding him back. But I like Mike's team still.
Yeah, I like Mike's chances currently.
Yeah, Mike's team's kind of filthy.
Yeah, Taysom, Chris Carson, Clyde. I would actually start Bernard over Clyde. I'm sure Mike has 100%. Up. Tyreek, AJ Brown, dad. Travis Kelce, dad. Lazard in the flex, okay. Bills D against Pittsburgh, yeah, why not? And then Gostkowski, yeah. Kyler, Dalvin, Jamal Williams, oof.
All capped games, because of them being a second string running back, but then the two others because of their good defenses. Ridley could have a nice performance, but Tanya could have a nice performance, but on the other side,
Deontay Johnson in the flex
could have a nice performance as well, but
just Bears. I dropped them, I think.
So hopefully I can beat Brian and play Mike here for the best. I can't see. I feel like Mike's 100%. Yeah, the best of the worst. Yeah, I feel like Mike's got this done.
Yeah, I do as well.
And then something tells me that if Adam, I'll probably end up here because I'm talking all this shit or whatever. But if Adam versus Brian in the loser bowl, that's a interesting. I feel like just for those two guys, it's a good rivalry for last place.
Brian's gonna pull out all the stops. He's gonna consult multiple people. We're gonna completely revamp his entire roster,
as we did before.
Yes.
That he used to beat me.
Yep.
But yeah, so all right, that wraps up the recap. Should be a fun playoff week. So we wish everyone listening good luck in their respective leagues.
Yep. Good luck. May the fantasy gods look at you with favor. God bless the Queen.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.